Hey, Gluten Free Badass, happy Thanksgiving. We are just about a week away. How are you this week? I must say I am very grateful for you. So I'm so glad you've joined us, and we are going to do stuffing, and not just any kind of stuffing, but the stuffing you may remember from your youth, of the brown berry bread cubes that maybe your mom or dad used to make the stuffing for Thanksgiving. Jean from Racine wrote in and said, could you please try to make that happen? And I wasn't sure we could. How do we get something crispy? How do we not have bread that doesn't use xanthan gum, but still has a lightness and a fluffiness to it? And I must say, I am thrilled with the results, and I know you will be too. So we've got about 3, I would say, very key tips on how to make the best stuffing that you have ever had. All right, so let's start out with our actual bread that we're gonna make. We are starting, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do cornbread, okay? Very much in the southern United States, cornbread is the basic, foundation of their stuffing, which they call dressing. And if you're from Pennsylvania, you might call it filling. But I'm just a big fan of calling it stuffing, whether I stuff it into the turkey or I just put it in a nice, Pyrex, casserole dish on the side. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do cornbread because it does really hold its shape when there's so much else going on in the stuffing, and we know that things that are gluten-free sometimes don't hold their shape. So let's make this hold.
Hi.
Well, hello, how are you? I am glad. Would you like your milk?
Yes.
Okay, good. So one thing that we have here is we're gonna start with white cornmeal. Now, if you're really into the yellow cornmeal, you can. I think there's always a time and a place for that, but in particular here, I like the mellowness of the yellow corn. Again, so some of the other flavors within the stuffing really shine as well. Now, of course, we want this to stick together, and we're gonna use our favorite binder here, which is sweet white rice flour. And we're gonna put that in. Of course, we want salt. Oh my God, Jean, yes. We are totally gonna want you to stuff this into your mouth. We're using corn, so we want our good salt, and we're gonna have baking powder as well, because we do wanna give it a little bit of airiness and fluffiness. Now here is tip number 1 that I really want you to use. We are going to put sage not only in the stuffing in general, but we're going to put it in the cornbread as well. So that way sage does not leave us at any moment in the stuffing experience. All right. Then, of course, we're going to stir it up. We have our dry ingredients here. So we're just going to stir, get everything kind of incorporated, particularly that baking powder. All right. Now, I am curious what you are thankful for this Thanksgiving. I'm actually purposely wearing this necklace and this bracelet because they represent who I'm most thankful for. And this I received from Catherine for Mother's Day this past year, and last Christmas I received this from Andrew. So those, of course, I'm thankful for my sister, I am thankful for my friends, but I am particularly thankful for those 2 fabulous people.
Hello.
Yes, you would be one of those. So we're putting in an egg, we're putting in some canola oil, we're gonna put in some milk. And this is what I love about cornbread. We are gonna stir this and bake it, and it's done. Not a ton of work. And when we have so much going on with Thanksgiving, we do not want it to be a ton of work. So once we stir this up, we are going to put it in, you can put it in 9x9 square pan. Line it with foil, so it's really easy to get out. Or you could just use, the round 8-inch or 9-inch pans. Those are great too. And depending, when you see the recipe online, you can decide, do you want the single recipe? Do you want to double or triple it? You can totally do that depending on the size of people and how much they eat. I have to be honest, I eat a lot. Oh, Kelly, I'm so grateful for you. And is Felix with you right now? I am curious.
Felix.
And I am grateful for you, Kelly. That would be, when I mentioned friends before, you would be on the top of that list. All right, so take a look at this. This is so yummy. And that sage, it's awesome. You may have noticed there's no sugar in this. We're not looking for a sweet cornbread. We definitely want savory. Once you bake it up, what you want to do, and I would recommend baking it a day or two before, and then you're going to cut it into tiny little cubes. So very traditional size bread cubes. You can even see the sage a little bit in there. What am I trying to say here? You let it dry, okay? Dry it overnight, and then like start at night, and in the morning when you wake up, toss them a little bit so all the sides get nice and dry. And then, and we're gonna come over, Andrew, if you'll come over to the stove here, and hi Sarah, how are you? You're then going to toast them in the oven, and I'll tell you, 400 degrees for just about 25 minutes, because look at that beautiful crust. Yeah, go ahead, Andrew, take a look at that. What I like about this is it has the crunch on the outside, but it's still soft and flavorful on the inside. It's the perfect combination. All right, so let's get this puppy going.
Mom, Kelly commented.
Kelly, I love the sage also. To me, that's the quintessential flavor of Thanksgiving. Just to get a head start on this, we did cook up in some butter and oil, or if you wanted to, you could do it in bacon fat as well. We did onions and celery. What are you eating? Out of curiosity.
Apples?
Ooh, of course. Do you want some raisins too while you're at it?
No, thanks.
All right, so we're putting in apples. All right, because part of, to me, stuffing is that wonderful combination.
Sarah commented.
Thank you, of kind of that crisp, right? You want some things that are a little crisp, but some things that are really moist. And so the key thing is you need to have some moist items, like your apples and raisins. I think raisins are super important. But here is the second tip for the best stuffing that you're ever gonna have. These funky little things are giblets. Sarah, I taste all the cubes as well. To me, it's like actually kind of dinner. And those cubes are like perfect croutons as well if you make a few extra. But this are giblets. So I don't know if you've ever used, those fun little organs in the neck that come inside the, let me just stir that, inside your turkey. And if you end up like getting a breast and you don't get the whole turkey, I would recommend then buying some extra giblets from your butcher or from the, the butcher counter at your store, because it really gives the most excellent, savory, deep and unique flavor to your stuffing. So you're just gonna boil those in some water, and then when they cool off, you're gonna cut them right up. So, and when you talk about the gizzards, it's the stomach, it's the heart, and it's the neck. Or I should say the giblets, sorry. The gizzard is another word for the stomach. But then here's the other aspect. You want to keep the giblet water. So this is honestly, it's not the prettiest looking thing in the world, but I can tell you it's really tasty when you put it in your stuffing. So the key thing here is you want to put some in, because then that wonderful flavor, I know that did sound cool, didn't it? That wonderful flavor starts to soak up. I actually need to put one more half a cup in there.
So a quarter,
about 1.5 cups.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put in more sage. And
I have a question for you guys.
Oh.
What is your favorite Thanksgiving food that that you guys have at your table every Thanksgiving? Like turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, whatever you have, what's your favorite thing?
That's an excellent question. Catherine, what's your favorite thing? Why don't you start out the discussion?
That's hard. I've never actually thought about it. I'm gonna say either the mashed potatoes or the turkey.
Okay. Andrew, how about you?
I like dessert.
What's your favorite dessert?
Apple pie.
We normally have 3 pies. It's apple, pumpkin, and sometimes there was one more. No, I can't think
I
of
don't
it.
know.
Pecan?
Oh yeah, pecan.
Kelly says turkey. Turkey is her favorite. To me, it's a combination of the turkey, the stuffing, and I mean a lot of stuffing, and gravy.
Oh yeah, gravy's good too.
Yeah. So,
It is.
just out of curiosity, as we're talking about recipes and stuff, what do you do for your gluten-free gravy? I make it from, the drippings, and Heather, mashed potatoes and gravy. Yes, I'm with you on
Sarah
that.
agrees with you.
Okay.
Andrew.
She likes the dessert.
Yes.
But what do you do for gravy? Do you end up, I just end up using the sweet white rice flour as the thickener. Just curious what you're doing.
And
I
best
know
when
some
you
people.
can get a piece of turkey, a bit of stuffing, and a bit of cranberry sauce all in one bite. The sweet and
Kelly.
savory together is even better.
Kelly, the sweet and savory, I cannot disagree with that at all. And I love how you've really made it a science there. That's fantastic.
This food science.
Food science, exactly. All right, so you're gonna let this cook up, okay? And you can see it is so happy. And I wish you could smell it.
Mom, is cornstarch gluten-free?
Yes.
Kelly's asking.
Oh, yeah, Kelly, it is. I mean, you still have to make sure it's made in a factory that is doesn't have any cross contact. But if you look at like a brand like Argo, which actually I've had multiple cousins work at Argo, and I can assure you, and so can their quality department, that nothing else is processed other than corn. They buy a ton of corn, they separate it into all its different parts, including the dry starch, the wet starch. I really know more about corn than I should. And they produce it, and it's definitely gluten-free.
Enhanced, of course, but when followed by a sip of Pinot Noir.
Okay.
You can never say that.
Oh yes, Pinot Noir is very good. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Once that cooks up, we are actually we're gonna put it over here, and we are gonna put it in with our bread. And we are gonna, let's get all those raisins out. Come on, raisins.
Here,
All right, good enough. That's so we're good. I'm gonna put this over here so no one puts their hand on the stove and thinks that's a great idea. And we are gonna stir this up, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven. And you can, or put it in your turkey. And we're gonna put it on for about, you can cook it up for about 30 minutes. Because the key thing again is we want to have, is that off? Okay, good. We want to have, again, that, and you get to decide how moist do you like your stuffing. I think that's a personal preference, so you get to decide. So you can decide more giblet water or less giblet water.
What do you
It's up
like,
to you.
Mom?
I like the perfect balance of things in the middle being juicy, but on the outside they still have that little bit of crispiness. So what I do is I do actually cover mine with foil, which might be an option for you as well.
Mom, can you eat
Yeah.
the dough?
Sure.
For the butt?
You can. I'm not sure you'd want to eat big spoonfuls of it. It's not like cookie dough like last week. Oh my gosh. All right, so here we are. We are gonna test this. Okay, so I've got raisins and I've got apples and I've got my wonderful crispy, flavorful sage cornbread.
I agree with that.
So good.
Kelly, I agree with you.
It is Thanksgiving in a bite. God bless it. Really?
There's too many comments.
Carly, you're absolutely right. Isn't that the way everything should work? Cookies, stuffing, bread.
No, Mom, there was one before it.
Oh, this is so good. I hope that you will share your, what are the things that you really like to make sure are in your stuffing. And we're going to try making it, and we'll make a whole nother version next year as well. Oh my gosh, Sarah, I agree. Gotta love this. All right, friends, as I started out the stream saying, I am very grateful for you. It is so much more fun to be gluten-free and on this journey when I'm with you. And please, whether it's Thanksgiving or it's any other day of the year, please keep being you and never, ever compromise on that. All right, see you in December. We're taking next week off because it's the day before Thanksgiving. See you December 4th, and we are going to be doing cut out sugar cookies, not the chocolate kind that we did a little bit ago, the vanilla kind. Ooh. All right, take care.